Woodward Sports Network presents a sports show that's more than just sports. Welcome to The Bottom Line with U of M great and former NFL star Braylon Edwards and Ryan Ermanni. Sit back and let's talk some Detroit sports right now on The Bottom Line.
And here we go. Monday, March 7th, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards, The Bottom Line, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards. Good afternoon to you, my friend.
Hey, man, missed you guys last Friday, man. Glad to be back. Interesting week in sports over the weekend. Literally, Mike Krzyzewski's last game.
Oh, yeah, man.
Had an awful fight in Masvidal and Covington.
Oh, wow.
You had the Combine, Daxton Hill, who you talked about.
Oh.
You got Aidan Hutchinson. Oh, man, he had an interesting, we'll talk about it. Jordan Davis, who you also talked about. It was a fun week to sit on the couch and kind of enjoy some sports.
We got a lot going on in terms of sports, but I have a little bit of, I don't think I fully ever paid attention to the new voiceover on the Open that we have here.
Woodward,
and
sports,
while I
sports,
understand you are a Michigan great,
so are you.
I, too, feel like I am a Michigan great.
You are.
I was great at not going to class. I was great at drinking up all the booze. I was great at trying to hit on all the women.
Tell our,
all the chicks.
Tell our listeners the DT story. That's what
all stories aside, I too feel. No, I was actually a goody two shoes in college, wasn't I, Maz?
You always
Tom Mazawey.
What up, fellas? Welcome back, Bray.
I appreciate that, man. How you
We
doing over
missed
there,
you.
big guy?
I heard you saw the Batman.
I did see the Batman.
I don't have 3 hours yet to give to go see it yet.
So I don't want to spoil it for anybody. It
3.5 with previews.
It was good. It was good. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. It was underwhelming in scenes.
Ooh.
Give me this.
It two things. One, usually like if you see a really good movie that's long, like you watch the Godfather 2 is my favorite movie of all time. I can watch the Godfather 2, well 1 and 2 and 3, but when I watch 2, I won't know that it's 3 hours.
Right.
Because it's so
of
good.
Course.
Batman,
You
I knew
knew.
it was 3 hours.
Yeah, I get you.
That's 1. 2, they did a really good job. This is something no Batman movie has ever done. Usually when they do it with Thomas and Martha Wayne, it's always, boom, they got popped after the movie, in the alley, pearls fall, Bruce Wayne's an orphan. They literally went deep into his parents, the lineage,
I like that.
the Arkham family. So that was the good part. I'm done.
I'm looking forward to it.
I saw a poll today that was taken recently.
Which is the best Batman?
Yes. And Ben Affleck was number 1 on that list. And I am not a Batman guy at all. Like, I'm just not a superhero guy. I was even floored by that. They had Michael Keaton 2. Christian Bale was at top 5.
Val Kilmer was 4.
And Adam West was in there as well.
Adam West doesn't count because he didn't do a movie like these guys.
Right.
Adam West is the Batman.
Right.
He's the best ever. Movie Batman, you got to give it to Michael Keaton, then Christian Bale.
Is it just because it was the first one, Michael Keaton?
I just thought he was really good.
Yeah.
I thought he was a great Bruce Wayne. I'll give him that.
So, heavy into comics, heavy into, I've seen all the movies. I actually saw Batman in theater 1989. It came out in June.
I saw it on Christmas Day.
If I'm correct. Oh, Christmas Day, excuse me. I think one of the things about Michael Keaton is, one, the people that were in the movie with him. Like, one, he was great.
Jack Nicholson, Kim Basinger.
Yeah.
Kim Basinger.
Hard to argue.
Freaking Michelle Pfeiffer. Danny DeVito. Christopher Walken. So when you look at all that, it's like, oh, my God, you can understand it, though. My favorite, and to answer the question on why Ben's number 1 in terms of the poll, Ben was smooth. Like, Ben probably is
Which one was
the
he?
sexiest,
even know.
smoothest Bruce Wayne. Now, Batman, okay. Bruce Wayne, Ben Affleck was really good as Bruce Wayne, if that makes sense.
I don't even remember which one Affleck was in.
Affleck.
He was Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guess what?
That was filmed here, wasn't it?
Yes, downtown. They had some parts.
Well,
Jake Towers in that movie.
I didn't even see it, that movie. That's why I know I didn't. That's how I know I didn't know Ben Affleck. There you go. I didn't even watch that movie.
That's incredible.
Affleck.
Guys, a lot trending today. Over the weekend, of course, this Major League Baseball lockout still going on. Doesn't look like there's any end in sight. Michigan and Michigan State both with huge wins to end their season yesterday. Braylon mentioned Coach K. We'll get into that as well. But I want to start with the NFL Combine. if I could, because it was off the charts good and kind of falls in line. Everything we saw at the Combine really kind of brings home the fact that we all said this draft is a very deep draft with lots of really, really good players. And that's kind of how it felt. Overall scheme, there's a lot of good players in this draft.
What I'm feeling about this draft after kind of watching some of, the running backs were really off the charts with the 40 and a lot of their measurables. The DNs were really good. Wide receivers, Jesus Christ, like they kind of almost broke the mold.
They are unbelievable.
Oh, my God, right? I think what you're going to see with this one, Ryan, as I'm watching at a glance, it's going to be a really good draft from 3 to 7. Mm-hmm. Like rounds 3 to 7. It's going to be a great draft. Like rounds 1 and 2, it'll be okay. You can't, it won't be comparable to any great ones. But that 3rd round to 7th round, I think you're going to see a great draft.
One of the things about this draft, Peter King came out with his Monday Morning Quarterback today on Pro Football Talk, and he alludes to something that I didn't even consider as a possibility. And one of the things that he said, because look, over the last 6 to 8 weeks, I think we have all kind of been there and pegged an offensive lineman, offensive tackle to protect
I see where you're going.
Last year's number 1 overall pick in Trevor Lawrence. So we all assume they're going offensive tackle. Well, Peter King comes out today and he says after Aidan Hutchinson's combine, which was off the charts considering what he did there, he believes that Aidan Hutchinson is not only the number 1 player on the board, he is going to be going to the Jacksonville Jaguars number 1 overall. So I think you have to sit there as Lions fans and say, well, if he goes number 1, who you getting it to?
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, we've been talking about that. We've been talking about that for a long time. What are we going to do with the number 2 pick and trade Kayvon, Aidan, trade? We've been talking about that. Going back to that, if they take him, you've talked about this a lot, and you've talked about it in great detail, Ryan, is more so, you know what? This is one of those drafts. There's not a ton of high grades in the first 15 picks. There's not in the lottery. There's not a ton of high grades. So if you're Jacksonville, according to Peter King, your thought process is, you know what? Are we forcing Neal because we needed a left tackle when he played at Alabama? Are we forcing Aquanu out of North Carolina State because we need a left tackle? You know what? If it's not necessarily that stacked of a draft like in previous years, why don't we take the best available player? And to Peter King's credit, Jacksonville's like, Aidan Hutchinson is 14.5 sacks. He's Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. He's Big Ten Championship Game winner MVP. He balled at the Combine. Why not take this guy? He continues to show us he's dependable.
And there's 2 great offensive tackles that could go in the top 10. Am I not correct?
Neal and Aquanu?
Yeah, so maybe the Lions get a call from one of those teams that want to move up and grab Evan Neal or somebody else.
Which would be ideal, because if there was ever a draft to trade back, this is the one.
Yeah.
But let me just read for you, if I may, what he writes about Kayvon Thibodeau, because ever since
that's Braylon's guy.
Yeah, ever since the middle of the season.
Yeah, middle of the season.
It was Hutchinson, Thibodeau, Hutchinson, Thibodeau, Hutchinson, Thibodeau.
Then it was like, where the hell is Thibodeau?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And here's what the write-up is on Kayvon Thibodeau. This is from Peter King. I talked with one NFL general manager who met with Thibodeau in Indy, and he found Thibodeau in his brief snapshot to be a me guy. Now, that's how one GM sees it. Others might have a different impression. I've covered the Combine for more than 20 years. Prospects come to Indy with some zits on the records every year. Sometimes minimized, sometimes they keep showing up. The only time I've ever heard of a player who just bombed his Combine appearance was Ryan Leaf in 1998. Leaf showed up to the Combine 268. But this is saying, on April 28th, when the time comes for the rubber to meet the road, we'll know everything about whether Thibodeau's ego and effort are real problems to those in the NFL who really matter. GMs pick between 4 to 15. So they don't believe he goes higher than 4. They don't believe he goes lower than 15.
Yeah.
So Do you reach there at 2 on Kayvon Thibodeau? Sit tight. Let me collect your thoughts on that. Big show for you today. Lots of NFL draft, lots of NFL combine stuff. We talk about it. What about those 40 times? There was one guy that went nuts. There was a lot of guys that went nuts, though. What does it mean? We'll have all of it for you next. Do the Lions consider Thibodeau at 2?
Those 40 times, man, they need to get a new watch. This is like some BS.
Is that a little high? Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, bottom line.
I got an idea.
It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
SMA has been leveraging pro athletes and other notables for a decade against the issues of mental health and substance use disorder. With the help of NFL alumni Sean Jordan, big brother to me, has been able to save lives and take a stand against these issues. Soon coming to Woodward Sports, the sports marketing agency podcast. This is the F word. Started last week, by the way. It's going good so far. If you're struggling with substance abuse or mental health, they are here to help. We are here to help. Visit thesportsma.com. thesportsma.com.
It seems simple enough. If Hutchinson goes to the Jags, as Peter King predicts he will, that's what he says in today's write-up on Pro Football Talk. If Hutchinson goes to the Jags, is it as simple as the Lions taking Thibodeau? Many NFL general managers and media alike don't believe he goes in the top 3 picks of this draft. You said you
ready for this?
Yeah.
If Hutchinson goes number 1 to Jacksonville, and I can't trade number 2,
yes,
I'm taking the best wide receiver on the board. That's me. I'm taking the best wide receiver on the board because we need a wide receiver almost as much as we need a defensive end, and I still got my number 32 pick that I can maybe move. I got next year's Rams pick as well. I could get back into this first round, get me Nakobe Dean or someone like that. But I will take the best wide receiver out there, which would be Olave or his partner Garrett. Is it Wilson?
Yeah, Wilson.
So
I'm very happy that you finally understand that the Detroit Lions gotta get that playmaker wide receiver. There aren't any wide receivers in this draft that I would take number 2 overall. Like when I think number 2 overall, I think Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think Calvin Johnson. I think insert, stud here. I just don't think that there are any number 2 wide receivers to be drafted right now. But I do love the fact that you're thinking that.
I love those Ohio State kids. I do. I think they're made for the pros.
I agree with you on that. The interesting thing, just about thinking about and a snapshot, is like, all right, cool. You know what? Kyle Hamilton, Derek Stingley Jr., you're trying to figure that out. There literally have only been 2 safeties drafted in the top 5 in the last 35 years. Eric Berry and
I don't know.
Eric Berry and
I wouldn't be able to tell you, but I can tell you this much while you're thinking
University
about it.
of Miami, 26, Sean Taylor, rest in peace.
Okay, Sean Taylor,
that's
unbelievable.
So if you want, to your point, draft the best available talent when you get to that point, best available talent. If you're going to draft the best available talent, boom. The only problem is facts, stats. You like data. You're a data guy, right?
All numbers.
So when you look at the numbers, can you build a team around a safety?
Here, let me put it to you like this, because I think you're wrong. Number 1,
I saw that.
And I think you're wrong. Number 2.
Oh, what did I say that was wrong?
I
said that.
I know
the wide receiver.
Here's where I'll tell you you're wrong.
Not
that you're wrong.
He's usually wrong too. So let him talk.
Look, I didn't even say anything.
Here's what I think you have to avoid. Let me put it like this.
All right.
There isn't a player in this draft worthy of being called the number 1 player in the draft. There isn't a player in this draft
That's
worthy.
what I said.
Yeah, but no matter who you pick.
That's what I said.
Is that what you said? Then I apologize. I misunderstood.
I said because of what this draft is.
Right. So you're going to be disappointed with whoever they get almost, because there's that Larry Fitzgerald. I see what you're saying now. I misunderstood you. I misunderstood you.
I was waiting for you.
Right. I misunderstood what you said.
But you're right, though.
But there isn't that player in this draft where you're like, oh my God, this is the number 2 player in the draft. There's just not that guy. So if Thibodeau is gone, you just simply have to take the next best player on your board. I think Derek Stingley is the best player in this draft. Personally, I'm not a draft evaluator. I'm not a talent evaluator. Just my personal opinion. Go look at him lock down Jamar Chase in those LSU practices, which they've been putting up every now and again.
You gotta love LSU, by the way.
I like Kyle Hamilton. I will tell you, I have watched Notre Dame play a ton of football this year, and he feels like a Thibodeau guy to me. To me.
Yeah.
A guy that gets all this hype, but when you turn on the tape, he doesn't really dominate. He's not a game wrecker.
I agree. That's Easy's guy.
Yeah.
Easy in the back. You guys know Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. So heavyweights. Shout out to the heavyweights. Easy loves Kyle Hamilton. He's been talking about Kyle Hamilton probably since around Thanksgiving. I'm like, I haven't seen anything. I didn't hear anything. I ain't seen any splashes.
Why don't you guys like the wide receivers? You don't think there's a Jamar Chase in this draft? I do.
I think there's.
I don't know.
I think Wilson will be good. Olave will be good. Jahan Dotson will be good. Jameis Williams, like when he gets over his ACL, when he reads, he'll be good. But they won't be great. So, to what you're talking about, he was great. We knew he was going to. Jamar Chase was different. The fact that Justin Jefferson did what he did his rookie year, and then Joe Burrow went on social media and was like, you think Justin Jefferson is good? Wait till you see Jamar Chase. So we knew Jamar Chase was going to be great, and then he proved us right. Broke the record, 1,400.
Hey, I'm talking to one of the best receivers right here. I'm talking to you.
You're my guy.
You're telling me, if you're telling me these guys aren't up to snuff, I'm just saying, if Hutchinson's gone and I'm stuck at 2, I'm not taking Thibodeau. Now you want me to reach for a safety there? I don't know. Or a quarterback?
My point is every player you take at that position is going to be a reach. No matter what player it is, because there's a lot of really good players in this draft. There just doesn't seem to be that can't-miss Hall of Famer, like an Ndamukong Suh was at number 2, like a Calvin Johnson was at number 2. When you think number 2, that's what Braylon was saying. When you think number 2 player in the draft, you're thinking Ndamukong Suh, Hall of Famer. You're thinking Calvin Johnson, Hall of Famer. Are they going to get a Hall of Fame player at number 2 here?
They might.
I don't think they are. They might. I don't know. But I feel like no matter who it is, they really reached for Kyle Hamilton there at 2. Oh, they really reached for Kayvon Thibodeau there.
Everybody's going to be a reach.
No matter who they pick, it's going to be a reach because player doesn't match the selection number.
You do need a wide receiver 1, and 1A is a defensive end / linebacker. Those are your 2 picks.
Yeah.
So if your best guy's gone, why not go to your second best need, which is that? You don't think Chris Olave is going to be a great pro?
I do, but if you can get him at 25,
you're not gonna.
Let me tell you, if you can get Drake London at 25, 26, I saw Drake London at 26 or 27 in some mock draft. If you are sitting there in the mid-20s and one of these studs have not been picked up yet, that's when you can get creative. That's when I see Brad Holmes saying, you know what, I got to go get my guy. So if you can get a standout defensive player at number 2, come back and even trade next year's 2 or something like that to trade back up into the first round and move up 6, 7, 8 spots to get the wide receiver that you want, you're looking at a really, really solid draft.
To add a little bit onto that, all right, at the number 2 pick, when you're talking about wide receivers, listen, Garrett Wilson is going to be a good player in the NFL. Garrett Wilson, I like a lot. Chris Olave, I like a lot. Jahan Dotson, I like a lot. We talk about that. They're going to be good players. But you're talking about the number 2 overall pick. When you're talking about drafting a wide receiver there, they have to be a wide receiver that is going to take over the league, the team, the division. When you draft number 2, Larry Fitzgerald, what he did, monsters. Calvin Johnson, what he did, monsters. That's what you're looking for too. When you're drafting a wide receiver, Keyshawn Johnson, number 1 overall pick, 7 Pro Bowls.
Right.
Like when you're going to draft a wide receiver that high, like that's what you have to know what's coming with that. That you have to, beyond the shadow of a doubt, you have to know that this guy's going to give me 8 Pro Bowls. This guy's going to give me 7 Pro Bowls. This guy's going to give me 10,000 yards. When you literally have a guy that's good and could be, 3 Pro Bowls, or depending on the system, when you have to start doing things like, depending on the system, depending on what's going on with Jared Goff, blah, 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 that means he's not a number 2 overall pick.
Preface this by saying, this is only if Hutchinson's gone, guys. So on the YouTube chat, I haven't looked in a couple of minutes. I'm sure you guys are killing me. I'm only taking the wide receiver if Hutchinson's gone and I can't trade down.
I understand what you're saying. I totally do. I don't know.
I think you're getting a star, no matter what, if
Yeah.
you take any of those top 3 wide receivers.
I like the tall kid, Drake London from USC.
But you heard him. He's not the breakaway speed.
Yeah.
He's not the guy on your offense.
I don't. You know what? I don't even mind. Like, you don't have to have necessarily the breakaway speed. Like, you don't have to necessarily be, down, like flowing and going and speedy. Like Tyreek Hill. But 6'5", 210, 1,200 yards last year, 11.9 yards per catch. This is at USC, mind you. Like, they're fast. Like, they move. They get the ball down the field. You mean to tell me in 4 years, 44 yards is the longest that you had? 11.9 yards a catch is what you're averaging. It's not that he is not a burner. He doesn't even seem like he gets down the field that fast and really controls the chains.
Oh, here's the thing. Was USC that good? Now they got Lincoln Riley. Now they're on the map again. The USC has been an afterthought for how many years?
I'm talking about what they usually have at the wide receiver position. They usually have like speedsters, with the exception of Drake and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I got your solution at wide receiver. This is why you don't pick it at 2. Allen Robinson. Bring him home.
How many free agents work out? Not many.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know.
Not many. Look back.
Yeah, I know, but
how many wide receiver free agents have gone to a team and worked out?
You're talking about a younger guy, though.
The Detroit Lions, or just in general?
In general.
Well, I went to back-to-back AFC championships.
Well, you're different.
You know what? No, I got traded, though. You're right. Not free agent. Odell Beckham, they got traded, though.
But you understand. I mean,
you got to look back, and it's not been.
Emmanuel Sanders?
He's okay.
I mean,
he did okay.
Look, there's.
He's not a game
you
changer.
could say that Matt, you could say that about any position. Once a player gets their money, there's a lot of incentive that goes by the wayside.
D-Hop was traded.
Right?
Oh, you're right.
I mean, there's a lot of incentive.
I'm just saying, a lot of big names are out there for wide receivers, and a lot more are going to drop today.
No, I hear you.
But it doesn't mean, Amari Cooper's out there for crying out loud. He's a young kid.
Something about Amari Cooper that I don't like.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
He's been as solid a pro as you could find. For some reason, he is a player, whether it's that Cowboy star or what, he is a player that you look at and you find everything he does wrong.
As opposed to
finding or talking about everything he does right.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the best route runners in the NFL, period.
You know what it is
Put him
about
on a list of 5.
You ready for this? You know what it is when it comes to Amari Cooper that you don't like? When you're talking the big guys, because he's due $20 million. So when you're talking big wide receivers, the guy, that means at the end of the game, you could put the game in their hands. Yeah. You trust them at the end of the game. Like you talk Devontae Adams, I close my eyes and trust him. Mike Evans, I close my eyes and trust him. D-Hop, before he got hurt, I closed my eyes and trust him. $20 million Amari Cooper, I don't trust him.
I'm with you.
I don't trust him.
Christian Kirk's going to get $12 to $15 million.
I would rather, to be honest, in a clutch moment, I would throw the ball to Michael Gallup over CD and Amari Cooper.
But he's coming in off the ACL.
I'm just saying, like, when they were healthy, I took Michael Gallup over both of them.
Absolutely. That is incredible stuff. Also incredible stuff. I'm not sure if you saw Jordan Davis at the Combine.
How do you miss him?
The guy was flat out incredible. We'll talk about how much money he made.
You called that.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You called that.
And how high he could go now, because there is one slight issue with Jordan Davis, and it might not be that slight. We'll examine it next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line. Oh, by the way, happy birthday to my baby brother, Berkeley. Happy birthday, big guy.
Happy birthday, man. Beast mode.
Hey, shot now.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Hey everybody, it's Maz for the Folding Warehouse. The Folding Warehouse in Hamtramck, Michigan. Our guy, Mike G. That's right, our YouTube star, Mike G. He was there this weekend. He sent me some pictures. He was doing a hell of a job out there, and he had a great time. I hope everyone here that listens to us here on the Bottom Line gets out to the Folding Warehouse and says hello to Chris and Noni Hut. Go throw a football at those bowling pins. Take your frustrations out and go out there to the Folding Warehouse. Couple ways to play: $10 unlimited open play or a private lane reservation. 10 or people for $120. You get the lane for 2 hours. You want to get your drink on? Multiple full bars. They got over 100 beers, a $2 mystery beer machine.
Coke 45.
Bring as much food in as you want. Have a picnic. The place is huge. And you can have your food delivered in. That's right. The Folding Warehouse. Go get your fold on. Check them out at foldingwarehouse.com.
You know, the difference between guys like me, or us, I should say, and anybody who's paid to select college players in the NFL draft is we can sit here and say, oh, I was right about Jordan Davis. But if I, but
when the money's on the line.
Right, when the money's on the line,
yeah.
Man, you better not be wrong. Look, Jordan Davis, 341 pounds of 6'6", ran a 4.840. Just a wrecking ball.
Technically 4.79.
4.79.
Look at him.
Just an absolute wrecking ball.
And they are off.
Now, keep this in mind as well, that
how tall is he? 6'6"?
Mel Kiper did not have Jordan Davis in his last mock draft in the first round. Keep that in mind.
He will be next time.
Well, he absolutely will be next time. It's just how high could this big fella go? I said back in January that if I'm the Lions, I have to take a hard look at Jordan Davis at number 2, just because he's as close to Ndamukong Suh as there has been in a draft, in my opinion, an interior defensive lineman that I've seen in a long time. But you see this stat here coming up. Jordan Davis was only on the field for 44 of 246 snaps Georgia played on third down. He is a flat-out two-down player, first and second down. If you take a player at number 2, well, I mean, I don't think it'll take
you
him
need
at number
more
2.
out of him.
You gotta be a three-down player. Do you not? And conversely, how do you determine, okay, so he played 2 downs in college. Why couldn't he play 3 downs in the NFL? Like, he's going to get better, is he not?
I think he was gassed.
All right. No. So, I'm glad this came up, and this is an interesting topic. Go back and look at Georgia's schedule last year. Go back and look at their games. Go back and look at their results. He didn't play a lot of those third downs. They beat They beat the hell out of everybody last year. So, literally, a lot of those halfway through thirds to the fourth quarter, he's not in. A lot of those, they don't need him.
Fair point.
Meanwhile, Trayvon Walker literally was just as good in terms of stat-wise and what he did on the right side.
Why didn't we think of that, Ryan?
Like, literally.
It's a great point.
So, to that point, like, that number can fool you. It's a tricky number.
It is.
So, I get it. You're 44, 246. But let's just say those numbers speak. Let's say they're factual as it relates to the whole season and all games were tight. If he's only playing 2 downs, if he's a monster on those 2 downs, that means 1 stuff. That means 1 sack or pressure or whatever, make it harder. Third down is long, whatever. If that's what you're giving me on 2 downs, I take it. So in terms of drafting him at number 2, that's a tough sell. But in terms of him, in terms of moving up, maybe 15, maybe 12, maybe 13, if you're going to give me 2 monstrous downs, I'm here for it.
This is the draft you want to be the Philadelphia Eagles.
Sue ain't playing every down. Sue didn't play every down.
this is the absolute draft. You want 3 players in the top 24.
Boy, they're going to be tough to beat.
18.
I mean,
they're going to be tough to beat in the NFC.
Yeah,
East.
what is it? 16, 17, or 15, 17, and 18,
Yeah,
something like
sounds
that.
right.
Like back to back to back.
Thank you, Coach.
I mean, seriously, don't you I wish the Lions had at least 2. I'd rather have 7 and 10 or 15 and 18 in this draft.
But we have
than
what
number
we have.
2.
We have what we have.
I understand this is the easiest thing to say. I get it.
Right.
And I hate to say it. You got to trade the pick. Find a partner. Find a draft partner to get 1 extra pick high up in this draft.
Let me ask you a silly question.
There's a lot of help these guys can get.
When you're playing fantasy football, it's draft day, right? You got 12 teams in the league.
I've never played, by the way.
Well, you should. It's fun.
Never played.
Anyway, the guy that gets the first pick, that's the last pick I want. It is. Or the last pick. That's the last pick I want. And what do the Lions have? Next to the first and the last.
They got like the snake draft.
Yeah. They got to wait and see all this talent come off the board. And then they get to pick 2 out of the next 3 picks at the end. By then, man, there's so many all-pros that have passed you by.
All right, so I definitely agree with you on that, though. It's a very tough situation drafting 2 and then 32. But with that being said, Brad Holmes, go on your damn check.
Oh, he's got it.
Like, no, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, let's stop giving them excuses. Like, literally, we're sitting here talking about what we believe in Brad Holmes. We believe in this new regime. We've given him some leeway. We're like, you know what? I trust him. I trust the draft process. So if we're gonna say we trust him, then shoot. Doesn't matter if you draft 2 or 1 or 5 or 6 or 7. Go do your job. And we keep talking about this draft, like there's some good talent, but more so better talent as mid-second round down. So nobody wants to come up. Yeah. If you think about it, like, who wants to come up?
Look at the Jets and Giants. They have 4 picks in the top 10 between them.
And it's like, why am I coming up? This is an average draft. Who am I coming up to get?
Here's a question
for you. With the
for
exception of 97 for Michigan, who am I coming up to get?
Is it better for the Lions? You know, obviously, if you get Hutchinson, that's great. I think he'd be the pick at number 2 if he's there. Yeah. But is that pick more tradable? I haven't really thought this through, and I'm just saying it out loud now. Is that pick more tradable if the Jags pick Hutchinson and a team falls in love with one of those 2 offensive linemen or something like that? They want to trade up to get one of them. Or if the Jags take an offensive lineman and a team gets desperate and wants that other one. You know, because there's 2 offensive linemen.
I don't think anyone's trading up for an O-lineman.
Nobody's trading up for an offensive lineman. I'm grasping at straws here because I'm trying to trade the pick.
Especially the Detroit Lions have literally one of the meanest O-lines in the league. Like,
so you know that's the one position they're not taking.
Exactly.
I would not be shocked if they took Malik Willis at number 2.
Oh, my God.
What I'm saying is I'd fall off the chair if they took Evan Neal number 2.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Right? I mean,
although, wow. I think Sam Reynolds could be quarterback behind that line. Freaking Flannel Sam
Could you even imagine?
I mean, wow. Holy crow. Have you seen that kid?
You can't.
He looks skinny. And he's 360 pounds.
Yeah.
You can't have all that money tied up in that position.
It's just unbelievable. And you have a backup center, quote unquote.
Evan
that
Brown,
was the 3rd
trade
best
him.
center in the league.
Yeah. So that's a good one. We need to trade him and see what we can do for that, man. Let's just start over again. It's tough. This is a tough draft year.
You're going to get some good players. It's a shame that a lot are going to be gone by the time you pick again at 32. But I really believe that Brad Holmes is going to be able to move and get who he wants.
I agree with you because he's been very quiet. He's also like, what did we talk about last week? Last Thursday, last Wednesday, we talked about the Detroit Lions leaving the draft early, leaving the combine early. Yep. They didn't stay. They knew what they were doing. I said they're working. Like, they know what they're doing free agency, working around, moving, talking to other teams. Hey, let's draft, trade for the draft capital. They're working. They're doing their thing, man. It's going to be interesting, man. That number 2 pick this is a very interesting year.
And not only that, but if you can accumulate more picks, we always say it's something you've got to do. And if you can't, you take the best player on the board available, Maz.
Heartbreak Kid on YouTube took the words out of my mouth. You guys know I follow New York Football Giants. I read a lot about them. They love Thibodeau. They love him. And they got 2 number ones. They just might be your dance partner.
Very well could be.
You're not going to get 2 number ones, but you can get their number one and possibly some other pick.
That would be incredible. Hey, speaking of YouTube, Maz, if you are watching on YouTube right now, hit that like button for us. Smash that like button. That helps YouTube get our content out to more people, more places. Also, we are less than 100 subscribers away from 21,000 subscribers on YouTube. So we are taking this train, and we're going uphill.
To the moon.
Let's go, baby. I want to ask you, Braylon, what was your 40? Do you remember your 40 time at the NFL Combine?
2 things. One, when you know you're going top 5, you don't run at the Combine.
That's so true.
To answer your question, 4.43 and 4.38.
Look at that. Are we making too much of 40 times? When we come back, I am going to tell you the 5 fastest players at the NFL Combine, and I want you to tell me if you've ever heard of them or not. We'll do it next. Ermanni and one guy you have.
One guy for sure.
One guy for sure. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Think you're a big shot?
Oh, excuse me, it goes down.
Think you can make the big shot?
Washington fires. That hits.
Woodward Sports wants to send you to the finals for college basketball April 2nd through the 4th in New Orleans. That's right, you and a friend in the Big Easy. We'll take care of the airfare, hotel, and tickets to see the finals for college basketball. Listen Monday through Friday to the Morning Woodward Show. Big D Energy. And the bottom line for your chance to qualify. If you can make the big shot, you and a friend are getting out of the cold and to New Orleans. Keep listening and watching for your next chance to win. Powered by Planet Fitness, Centron, and the Sports Marketing Agency.
And it's over. Anything can happen in March.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Hey, gang, I want to tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet, located in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. You know, my mom's there right now.
Is that
trying
right?
to get it. My mom and stepdad, they're at Les Stanford right now trying to look and see what they have in terms of the Chevys out there. How about it? That's right. Speaking of Chevys, you know Les Stanford is your Corvette king. GM announced that all-new 2023 Corvette Z06.
0 to 60 in what?
2.6 seconds. That's right. For more, head over to CorvetteKing.com, CorvetteKing.com, or for all your other Chevy and Cadillac needs, you know what? Head on over to Les Stanford Chevrolet. They're practically giving them away.
LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com. Find new roads.
You like that little jingle? Get off your heels into some wheels. Come on down today. They're practically giving them away. Les Stanford Chevrolet. LesStanford.com. Your bike is not working, Tom Mazawey.
So we're doing Planet Fitness right now, too. Oh, guess what? $10 a month is all it takes for you to get in shape. Your fitness is essential to Planet Fitness. Hey, and it's home of the Judgment-Free Zone. Also, it's home of the Woodward Sports Network Studio, Planet Fitness. Appreciate it. Hey, $10. Or if you go in person, guess what? $0 down. Or $22.99 for the black card. Man, what comes with the black card, big guy?
Unlimited tanning.
Oh, man.
Access to those massage chairs. Hydro massage. Locker room access. And access to over 2,000 Planet Fitnesses. And guess what? You get to bring a friend with you.
Every time you can bring a friend. That's like having 2 memberships.
2 for 1.
Wherever you are, there is a Planet Fitness near you. www.planetfitness.com or go in person, $0 down. Planet Fitness. Your fitness is essential.
So there you go. Woodward Sports Network, Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. We got Sam Reynolds, Alex Mayer as well. These guys are working their tails off for us. We certainly appreciate you guys and everybody for listening. Hit that like button as well on YouTube. Love the YouTube feed. If you have not listened to us or watched us on YouTube, so much great content there. The Morning Woodward Show, Big D Energy. and, of course, us. You can watch our shows live or whenever you want.
Hey, by the way,
Bets.
Yeah.
Woodward Bets.
Woodward Bets. Thanks to the YouTube guys keeping us in the loop. Kyle Van Noy released today by the Patriots. He's done basically.
I saw that.
We've already had our run with him, and
Yeah.
he's won how many Super Bowls with the Patriots? Nonetheless, Danny DeKeyser put on waivers by the Red Wings as well.
Wow, look at that. Danny DeKeyser, a really good guy. I hope he finds a home somewhere else. But talking about this NFL Combine, because there was so much to get through. And again, I think overall, lots of really, really good players, lots of players you'd be happy with. But at the same time, it's just a tough draft to find a blue chipper.
Yeah, it's tough to find a blue chip. You look at a lot of guys. Even if you just look at the quarterback position, I looked at something that said basically Matt Corral is a kid pick. I want to say no, Sam Howell. He's the only one that was a 4-star. No, Cone. Excuse me, Cone from Notre Dame. Cone from Notre Dame is the only guy. John Cone's the only guy that was a 4-star in the quarterback round.
Wow,
everybody else 3, some 2s. That's why it's a very interesting draft, and that's why I keep saying literally that midway through the second to about the 6th round, that's where you'll find the best talent. It is a tough draft to be a GM, president, head coach. I wouldn't want Brad Holmes nor Dan Campbell's job this year.
All right, here's the question for you guys. How much and why do we put stock into the 40-yard draft? Or, better question, why do we fawn and fall all over these guys that run so fast in the NFL draft? I am going to give you...
Because of one person, Al Davis.
Speed kills. You
and
catch
it does.
that chicken, catch grease lightning.
Look, I do believe in the fact that speed kills. But I think it's, to be quick, to be fast, two different things. And depending upon the position you play, no offense, but I'd rather Jordan Davis have a much quicker cone time than a 40-yard dash time, right? So here's the 6 fastest players in the history of the NFL draft. 4.22, John Ross, wide receiver, 2017. Drafted by the Bengals, 5th overall. He's been invisible. 5 years, 62 catches, now playing a minor role for the Giants. This year, 4.23, Kalon Barnes exploded onto the scene, thought to be a second-best Baylor corner in the draft. But we'll see where he goes. Chris Johnson, everybody knows this guy, right? 4.24 speed in 2008, an excellent NFL back.
They burned him out.
He had 2,000 yards in a season, I believe, Chris Johnson.
His second year.
Yeah,
they burned him out.
Had 6 1,000-yard seasons. 4.24, Rondell Menendez. You ever heard of that guy? Rondell Menendez, 1999, 7th-round pick of the Falcons. Never played a snap in the NFL. Jerome Mathis, 2005. Touched the ball 90 times in his 3-year career. Don't know where he went.
I think it was Howard.
3-year career with the Houston Texans. Touched it 90 times. In 2014, running back Dree Archer, 4.26. Touched the ball 34 times in a 2-year career. Last played at the age of 24. So, Braylon, what do you make of those 40 times? Obviously, if there's one thing about that kind of speed, it does get you a look.
Yeah.
I guess you would say, but it does not guarantee success.
Definitely get you a look, when it works, when it hits, oh my God, it's a thing of beauty. Look at Tyreek Hill. Everybody is amazed at Tyreek Hill. Nobody really is amazed at Tyreek Hill because of his actual receiver skills, running routes, catching the ball with his hands. They're amazed because he blows by everybody. Why do you think they got this banned? Because he was blowing by everybody. So when it works, it looks amazing. But they make way too much of it. There are tons of players that are better than a 40 time. Better than a 40 time. I'll give you an example. The year I got drafted, 2005, Jerome Mathis was in that draft. Mark Clayton was a monster at Oklahoma. They had been to 2 national championships. I think he had 1,400 his sophomore year, 1,500 his junior year. Going into the senior season, I was number 1. He was 2. When you get to the draft, Troy Williamson was a wide receiver that came out of nowhere. He was South Carolina. He ran 4.36, 4.35, something along those lines at the combine. Now all of a sudden it's, this guy right here, he's 6'1.5". Like this guy, then they start to develop a narrative about such individuals' talent when they see a fast 40. No, he wasn't. He wasn't a talent. They drafted him seventh overall to the Vikings. I don't know if he ever caught a touchdown. Meanwhile, Mark Clayton had a body of work and ran 4.5. So what? He ran 4.5. Ran good routes, had good hands, body of work. They was trash. Troy Williamson was trash. Like, that's what they do. Fabian Washington, another guy, my draft class, got drafted because he ran 4.2. Al Davis, you got speed? Bring him over here. Fabian Washington, I don't even ever had an interception in the NFL. They make too much of the 40 time because there's some damn good talent every year that may not, uphold the 40 time, but they can ball.
And the main thing is who you get drafted by probably is the best thing that you could look for in a receiver. Mark Clayton to the Dolphins? Come on. And look at you. Yeah. You go to the Cleveland Browns.
I mean, I think about that with every single NFL player, regardless of position. It's
where you go.
Your career pretty much is predicated most of the time on what coaching staff you go to.
What I would say, I'm gonna bring it all together real quick. If you have a really good body of work in your collegiate experience, and you have an extremely fast 40 time, then you mix those together, you deserve to be able to be like, yo, we need to move him up. We need to do this. Like, we need to look at this is the guy. If you just have a blazing fast 40 time, don't overlook the body of work. Like, oh my God, this guy ran 4.2. So what? He had 4 catches his senior year. Like, don't overlook the body of work just because of speed. But however, if the body of work matches the speed and they go together, now you raise him up. Now he deserves the praise.
I feel like that about Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
I do. I feel like that about Jordan Davis. And again, 40 time for defensive linemen isn't the be-all, end-all stat that I would look at. I would hope that Jordan Davis isn't running down the field trying to catch Jamar Chase or anybody like that, trying to track him down. Yeah. You want him to be fast, but when you look at the wrecking ball that guy was on the field and you match that speed and that high jump, the vertical jump, come on, man.
When you watch Michigan-Georgia game, okay, Jordan Davis, Blake Corum, they gave him a toss sweep in the first half. Jordan Davis not only destroyed the #1 offensive line in the country last year, to get in the backfield, he chased Blake Corum down side to side. And just think about what we saw Blake Corum in the Ohio State game, in the Maryland game. In these games, like, Blake Corum's fast, shifty. He side to side chased him down, tackled him for a 6-yard loss. Jordan Davis is 6'6", 340. Let the body of work match the 40. Draft that man.
Can you imagine if he falls to one of these playoff teams like the Eagles?
That's how it happens.
Can you imagine that?
That's how you become a favorite to win the conference.
Correct.
When you get a player like that. You know how else you become a favorite to win the conference is if you keep or get Aaron Rodgers. Apparently we will know where A-Rod will go over the next 36 hours or so. Maybe even tonight. We'll find out. There is
I got something interesting to say about that.
Tuesday deadline for him to choose where he's going to play next year. Green Bay's got a hell of an offer out there. Will he accept it or will he go elsewhere? Ermanni and Edwards.
What was Sports Network? The Bottom Line. I got to change my views about Aaron Rodgers. I got something to say.
What do you get when you mix fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken with our savory signature sauces? The best damn wings you've ever had. Wing Snob Traditional Wings. Try our Jamaican jerk or lemon pepper. And we toss them to perfection. When your wings are this good, it's easy to be a snob. Order online at wingsnob.com today. Wing Snob. We just have better wings.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang! How would you like to win $100,000? Yes, you heard me correct.
What?
$100,000. All you have to do is get to Lady Jane's today, get a precision haircut, and register for your chance to be 6 figures richer. Get you a Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and let one of their talented stylists treat you like a king. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Ooh, my goodness. Get to Lady Jane's. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Register to win $100,000. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
So, can I apply? Can I win the six figures?
Yeah.
No, just
Are you a customer of Lady Jane's haircuts for men?
Does Birmingham Rose kind of count?
Nope.
Damn it.
No, it does not. Got to get your hair cut at Lady
You got your
Jane's
beard
and
done the other
register to win. You can do that as well.
You had a facial.
Register to win. That's right.
Excuse me. It's coming soon.
All right, guys. So, hey, we're going to find out where Aaron Rodgers is going to play. And I do think that the retirement talk is done now. Is that fair to say?
I never thought he was going to retire.
Yeah, I think retirement is out.
You don't have a girlfriend anymore.
It's Green Bay or elsewhere. So Aaron Rodgers will find out before tomorrow, really, where Aaron Rodgers will play. Green Bay made a hell of an offer to him. You know, a longer-term deal. Here's the Pro Football Talk tweet about it. As we understand it, the current question isn't simply Packers versus not the Packers. It's Green Bay or Denver, Tennessee, Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers chooses where he will go. Green Bay, Denver, Tennessee, and Pittsburgh. And keep in mind, in Tennessee, he bought that plot of land and is building a house in Nashville.
Yeah, he bought the pile of land in Nashville, but you know the Tennessee Titans are very comfortable with Ryan Tannehill. They've made statements to the public like they like Ryan.
I don't know
Tannehill.
how comfortable they are.
Appreciate enough, unless they're lying to us.
They're lying.
It's interesting what team they name last. It's kind of like almost like a gloss over. It's like and Pittsburgh, and then obviously we see what happened with Mike Tomlin during the season and the smile that they shared during that game. We know Aaron Rodgers is going back to Green Bay. Like, that's where it is. That's where you win. Like, that's the best bet.
Don't
like,
count Denver out.
No. This is the NFL. NFL's hard. It's hard to get back there every year. It's hard to get into the conference championships. It's damn hard to get to the Super Bowl, and it's even hard to win it. Your best option is to stay against the Minnesota Vikings, the Detroit Lions, and the Chicago Bears. So we know where he's going. Where I changed my views on Aaron, where I got to push back a little bit. I'm always like, he's selfish, he's blah, blah, blah. If you have put yourself in a situation for people to call you the most talented thrower of the football in NFL history, where you're back-to-back MVP winners, 13-3 2 years ago, 13-4 this year, and he didn't play 2 of those games. If you're that good, you deserve to take your time. Like, that's the leverage you have as a player. It's always about the owners. He has put himself in a situation to deserve to be able to take his sweet time. And I think that the deadline in terms of when he can announce it was March 16th. Like, at the end of the day, he has deserved the right to take his time because of all the things that he's done on the field for the Green Bay Packers. So, you know what? I'm not even mad at him. But he's going back to Green Bay.
Smart money is saying it's the Packers or it's the Broncos. But look what the Packers offered him today. This is way different.
Yeah, they've made a significant long-term contract offer to Aaron Rodgers that would alter the quarterback market. A source told Jeremy Fowler what that is. We really don't have numbers. We know that Patrick Mahomes has a 10-year, $450 million deal. So are they paying Aaron Rodgers upwards of $50 million over the course of
probably 40?
$40 million, whatever but they've got to do it in a long-term deal because they're $26 million over the cap right now for next season. So any long-term deal that they come up with Aaron Rodgers will give them a little bit of relief to do to do something with him. But here's something. Just keep it in the back of your mind. Now, I'm not predicting this will happen, but I kind of feel like this makes sense for all parties. How about doing a sign and trade with Tennessee? Similar to what the Lions, they didn't do a sign and trade, but kind of like how the Lions worked out a trade with the Rams. What about trading Ryan Tannehill, who makes, I'm just looking now, who will make $29 million next year? I'm not sure if Green Bay is going to want that contract, But Ryan Tannehill gives you a better chance to win than Jordan Love. I don't know if you just want to go full reboot and do that, but something tells me Aaron Rodgers' best opportunity to go to a Super Bowl is with Tennessee. Can you imagine Aaron Rodgers with Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, and
Hollywood Brown?
Not Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown's
AJ
Brown.
AJ Brown.
Hollywood Brown's in Baltimore.
The better Brown is with Tennessee.
Can you imagine those 4 guys? I mean, that to me is really tough.
You can also imagine them in the orange and the blue in Denver, and the word all over the street was the Broncos supposedly have offered this year's number 1, which they pick, I think, in the top 10, and next year's number 1, and a player to the Packers to get Aaron Rodgers. And they've done this with Manning in the past. So they have a little bit of a history here. And I think it's a 2-horse race, although I like the Tennessee situation from you. That's just what they've been saying all weekend. We're going to know, I think, by tomorrow, and I bet you he does it on McAfee's show.
Yeah, I'll address both of you guys. I'll start with you. 3 names. Derek Carr, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert. Stay your butt out of the AFC West. Thing 2.
He's just as good as them.
You said what?
He's just as good as them.
No, he's way better than them.
Yeah.
But the problem is he's one man though. Like when he goes there, everything else has to hit too.
They got
like
good
he could be as great as he want to be. If the defensive line isn't there, if the linebackers aren't there, if the management isn't there, if the coaching isn't there.
The coach is there. He loves Nathaniel Hackett.
It's a tough start over is what I'm saying.
Okay.
But to your point, yes, they have history.
Hackett's his guy.
And I understand that, but it's tough. Just because Tom and Matt did it, it's tough. They weren't in divisions like that. Now going to what you said about Tennessee, make a lot of sense right there. Because when you look, we keep talking about the NFC North. Stay in Green Bay. That's the best chance for you to win the Super Bowl, or at least get back. Well, the Detroit Lions, the Minnesota Vikings, and the Chicago Bears, that sounds kind of similar to the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Houston Texans, and the Indianapolis Colts.
Boom.
Indianapolis is Minnesota. Detroit is Jacksonville, but better. And then Vikings probably Houston would be there. It's very similar. It's not a bad call by you.
It's hard to look at that division, especially with the Indianapolis Colts not knowing who their quarterback is going to be. I mean, their own coach and their own general manager is calling out the quarterback that they traded for.
I put my neck on the line for him.
Yeah, I mean, that place is a mess. Something feels like, I don't know if I need it to happen, if I'm rooting for it to happen subconsciously, but I just don't see Aaron Rodgers coming back to the Packers. I don't know why. Maybe because I just feel like he needs something new as well.
Tomorrow, if they franchise Devontae Adams, which would screw him, basically.
And by the way, that is why this deadline is in place, by the way.
Tomorrow's the deadline.
Because I don't believe Green Bay franchises Devontae Adams without having an assurance from the quarterback Aaron Rodgers that he's coming back to Green Bay.
Yeah, if they
then you're just starting over.
If they franchise him without not having clarity on if Aaron Rodgers comes, that's selfish.
Yeah.
That's selfish because he definitely could make $25-27 million on the open market, but he'll stand to make $15-16 if he gets franchised. I get it. You're trying to see what he's going to do. He's like, you just don't feel it in your gut. He needs to start over, and I get all that, but I don't know. I just can't see him going anywhere unless it's the move that you're talking about. NFC North, he owns, man. Like he's the king. He's the king in the North. Like, and everybody is on par. Everybody is on pace with what, in terms of the Green Bay franchise, what he wants to do. Players are literally holding up because they want to be all in with Aaron Rodgers. Like the franchise, like Gutekunst, they're literally saying, "We want you." Come back. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back to the Green Bay Packers after everything is set up the way it is, that would be like a complete slap in the face. Almost like drafting a quarterback. Oh, Jordan Love.
If he signs this deal, he's going to be around for a while in Green Bay because it's a long-term offer. It's a 4-year deal.
I don't see how they can win there under the current salary construction, whether he signs a long-term deal or not. We get much more to talk about with Aaron Rodgers. Also, Michigan State with big wins on Sunday. Both now likely a lock to be in the tournament, although I would tell and advise Michigan to beat Indiana in the first round of the Big Ten tournament just to make sure. In the Coach K thing, I don't know why I was rooting against Coach K, but I was. We got a lot to discuss in hour number 2 of the program.
He was mad.
Ermanni and Edwards. Hey, get me to 100. If you're watching on YouTube, get me to over 100 likes if you could by the next break. We're 12 away. Get me to 100 plus if you would. Over 100 likes. Let me see it before the next break. Ermanni and Edwards.
Get this man over 100. Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
It's all happening now.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
You should start having Sam read.
Hey, guys, it's Maz for Chili Peppers Tanning. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. That's the place. The cleanest salons in the D. Spotless sanitized rooms. Trained, certified tanning professionals. That's what you get. And don't forget, join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They beat all competitors' deals by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals. The darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters. Man, you need it today. Look at that cloudy day. 26 locations and more on the way. Check them out. ChiliPeppersTanning.com.
The final seconds will tick away, and the North Carolina Tar Heels come into Cameron Indoor Stadium on Mike Krzyzewski's final night coaching in this arena, and they hand the Blue Devils a loss. And boy, is Hubert Davis got to be beaming on the inside about the effort given by his players tonight.
How about that? Huh? How about that? North Carolina beats Duke by 13.
Yeah. They pulled away at the end.
Final game at home for Coach K. So much pomp and circumstance. 96 former players. Who's your daddy, Battier? Saw him in the stands.
Christian Laettner,
Elton
Grant
Brand,
Hill.
Jay Will.
All of them.
Jay Will, Grant Hill, Danny Ferry.
Grant Hill, the number one guy, the guy that got Duke going with 2 national championships. They didn't win a championship till he came.
Laettner.
Oh, yeah, Laettner too. Of course.
Yeah. But here's Coach K after the game on the court.
This isn't part of the program. This is impromptu by me. I'm sorry about this afternoon. Please, everyone be quiet. Let me just say, it's unacceptable. Today was unacceptable, but the season has been very acceptable. And I'll tell you, the season isn't over, all right?
Love that.
So good.
That's the definition of a mic drop.
Right. A couple of people asked about Bobby Hurley. I did not see Bobby Hurley there, but I believe he's the head coach of Arizona State, so he might have been busy. Tommy Amaker wasn't there, obviously.
I think they were probably talking about like when Matt said like Grant Hill got them over.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The hump. They probably bought
you.
Bob Hurley because he was on that team as well.
Either way, I found myself rooting against Duke and Mike Krzyzewski. I feel like he gets away with so much crap. He's a jerk to people a lot of times. I mean, and one of the assistants has the gall not to shake Hubert Davis's hand. Come on. That's a direct reflection of your head coach.
Supposedly they were pissed that North Carolina
took a timeout.
That North Carolina
knock it off.
Did not do anything for Coach K at Chapel Hill. They didn't do a send-off for him, give him a rocking chair or anything like that. So supposedly that was the scoop with North Carolina. These guys don't like each other. Let's face it.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, if you're Bo Schembechler, don't expect a rocking chair from Columbus either.
Yeah, that's real. Like 100%. Like, you can kiss my butt. Like, I'm not. And it's during season, like, literally. And we're fighting. You know, UNC is trying to get in position, you know, to get in the tournament. Obviously, with that win, they're 25 now. You're not going to get that out of a rivalry thing like that. You know, what, in terms of you not liking Coach K, though.
I just don't like him.
He undressed his players, man. That's called. He undressed them in front of Cameron Indoor.
I just don't like him.
He did.
And I'm fine with that. Like, you guys are number 4 team in the country. Like, get that win.
I'm good with you too.
UNC is not that good. Like, get that win. They should have got that win. So I understand that though. But in terms of you not liking them, I don't either. Like, they're like spoiled, like brat.
Spoiled rich kids. I feel like Duke is and always has been. I hate it.
Literally,
I'll say it.
Literally, I hate him. Like, I don't like Duke as well. Do I hate him? I don't know yet. Maybe so. You know what the hell? Yes, I hate him. You know why? They literally get 4 or 5 McDonald's players, All-Americans every year. Every year. Like, it doesn't stop. Like, you go back in history.
They're blue bloods.
Every year, they get the best of the best of the best. And literally, when's the last time they won a national championship? Don't worry, I'll wait. Jaleel Okafor? When the last time they won after that?
99-01.
They should legitimately have had 10 national championships in his era. I know it's hard. I get it. It's hard. And anybody can show up for one game in the NCAA tournament. Spoiled brats, they get on my nerves. I've never liked them, and I hate them now because of you.
There's a 3.5-minute video, if you guys want to go on Twitter and watch it, that you saw during the ceremony. ESPN used it. It's on Cameron Indoor Stadium, and Coach K calls it, the greatest sports arena in the world. And it kind of gives you... I didn't get the chills like I usually do when I see a video like this. They got the music going. They got the great views. You see the people in the tents waiting to get in this game. I mean, they really play it up. The Duke fans, they do love going there. Personally, when I watch a game there, I can't stand those kids for some reason jumping up and down the whole damn game. I want to punch a few of them right in their face. But, you know, if I was a student there, I'd probably be proud to be there.
Like, Grayson Allen represents Duke.
He is a punk.
Like, Grayson Allen represents Duke to me, and that's why I don't like him.
Rob J on the YouTube chat mentions Grayson Allen, and a couple of people, Cody and J.D. Smith, 3111 says, Ryan, Michigan doesn't have a bunch of spoiled little rich kids either. Look, I understand. And I wish I didn't say this, but when I was, in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, you always looked at Duke as like these spoiled rich kids. So that's how I saw them growing up, and that's how I see them a little bit now to a lesser extent. I don't like Duke because I don't like Coach K. I find him to be fraudulent. I don't know why. I find him to be a bit of a fraud. Whether it's coaching the Olympic team longer than he should have instead of giving other coaches a shot at it. Whether it's, not shaking hands of players. Whether it's to undress an opponent, a player on the other team. Whether it's yelling at his own kids. He's got a terrible language, and that's fine. I love that. I say F all the time. Too much. But you don't look at me like we look at him like as if he's like godlike.
This is the F word.
I mean, I also don't like the fact that he's going to have an office at Cameron Indoor. You have had your time.
Get out of here.
You have had your time. Let it be somebody else's time.
Go travel. See
the
world.
He has never, in any way, shape, or form, allowed himself not to be the focal point. Whether it's like on the Olympics, whether it's at Duke, whether it's now life after Duke, it has always been about Coach K and never about the players.
All right, 2 things. One,
and I hate that.
One, you said it stems from the coach, correct? Who was his coach? The biggest jerk there ever was.
Bobby Knight.
He learned from Bobby Knight. So if you want to call it, he learned from him. I agree and disagree with you to a certain extent. Team USA was in the dumps before they brought Mike Krzyzewski on. They literally lost to, was it 2004? They lost in 2004 in Athens. I think they finished third. I think Puerto Rico won, or Spain, whoever it was. They beat them up. He came, took over, and he got the USA back on track. 2008, they buzz heads. 2012, they buzz heads. 2016. So I'm not necessarily mad at that, because him and Jim Boeheim, they put it down. Represent the country. I'm good with that. Mike has done his thing. Like, Duke was an average school before he became the head coach.
Yes.
Like, Duke wasn't a basketball powerhouse. He turned it into a basketball powerhouse. So I have to give him credit for that, and I have to give him credit for Team USA. But it just seems like we were talking about with somebody else when we weren't on the air. Last 10 years or so, he's just been trending in that area of like arrogance and ego, and you know what, it's me, and I agree with you on that though. I had to clear that up, but that he's been trending in that area with that ego, and he just doesn't want to relinquish power. Get out of here.
We mentioned Bobby Knight in this segment as it relates to Mike Krzyzewski. We can mention Bobby Knight in the next segment too, because Tom Izzo, win number 663, on to the Big Ten tournament for the Michigan State Spartans and the Michigan Wolverines.
Now him, I love.
I love Tom Izzo. I
Tom
absolutely
Izzo.
do too, and I think it is awesome that Tom Izzo now represents the Big Ten as the all-time winningest coach.
Amen.
That feels right. Even from me, Tom Izzo is the best thing this conference has ever seen in terms of coaches.
You can't not root for him.
Over Bob Knight?
Over Bob Knight. I do. I think Tom Izzo is everything that's right about college basketball, and there's just something that feels right that he kind of pushes Bob Knight aside.
If Gene Katie would have had a national championship,
perhaps.
Could you put him up there?
Sure, could definitely put him up there.
I agree with you.
Could definitely put him up there. But we could talk about college basketball. Do you see Michigan and Michigan State doing anything in the tournament? I am going to give you reasons for hope if you're the Michigan Wolverines. Alex, if you're the Michigan State Spartans and you got any kind of hope of making a deep run, I'm in. But Michigan, I'll tell you why I think they are going to play beyond the first weekend of the NCAA tournament. I'll do that. You can laugh all you want. You can laugh all you want. Armani and Edwards.
You hit the gypsy?
All I know is didn't Michigan State lose in the first round?
Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line. Didn't Michigan State?
I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
Detroit Sports on Demand.
DeAndre Swift, he's going to take it all the way for the touchdown. Open in the corner, he triple.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app today. Take us with you everywhere you go. Search Woodward Sports Network or WSN Live.
Citron World is an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavor energy beverages, premium bottled water, and revitalizer shots. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Citron is your choice. Buy online at citronworld.com with promo code RedWings10. Save 10% with shipping included. Citron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners with the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively sold at LCA. You see that? Red Wings, baby. Drink it. Live it with Citron.
Hey, gang, I want to tell you about this contest. Woodward Sports sending you to New Orleans to see college basketball's finals. Listen Monday through Friday to the Morning Woodward Show, afternoons, Big D Energy, and drive time with the bottom line. Want more chances to qualify? Make sure you're following Woodward Sports on Twitter, IG, and head over to woodwardsports.com.
Oh, you know what? Up until March 25th, we are literally doing 60 on-air qualifiers. That's one each show. We'll do one coming up next.
Let's do it now.
Let's guess what?
You want to do it now?
Sure, why not? You got the question?
I got a question for you.
You go right
Okay, earlier in the show, earlier today, we had mentioned who Peter King expects the Jacksonville Jaguars to select with their first selection.
That's too easy.
In the NFL draft.
That's too easy.
I'm trying to get it over with quickly so we can start out with the show.
All right, I'm going to shut up.
Who is that player? Be first on the YouTube chat, and we'll get you qualified today. How about that? Who does Peter King expect the Jacksonville Jaguars to select first overall in the NFL draft? First person on the YouTube chat that says it correctly will be our qualifier.
Full name
today. Well, come on.
Yep. And when you qualify, if you win, you legitimately will win airfare, hotel tickets, and 2 tickets to the game. NCAA championship game. You know what it is. You know why we can't say it. Copyright infringement.
Got a winner.
That is what we are offering you.
We do have a winner. Andrew Caldwell. Andrew Caldwell is today's winner. So, Andrew, I'm going to give it to you like this. Andrew, listen up very carefully. You're going to email I love March Madness 2022 at gmail.com. Andrew Caldwell, email I love March Madness 2022 at gmail.com. You're going to tell them who you are. You're going to get in touch with Sam. Sam, how's it been going?
Everything has been very, very smooth, so keep the emails coming.
Good. Sam will then respond to you about some of the other details that he needs about your life, i.e., what are some of the questions that you're going to ask?
Social Security.
It'll be a name, date of birth, email address, and phone number.
Oh, very, very simple
EIN
stuff.
number.
Very simple stuff. So there you go. That's today. We'll qualify another one tomorrow if you missed today. So congratulations, Andrew. The University of Michigan, Braylon, an incredible road win yesterday. And I don't say that word lightly, right? You don't have your head coach in Juwan Howard. Yep. You don't have your big man. I'm drawing a blank now. I was thinking Aidan Hutchinson because Aidan Hutchinson was the answer to our question.
Dickinson
Hunter
had a
Dickinson.
ache.
He had his tummy issue. His tummy hurt. And you go on the road, and you beat Ohio State with Ryan Day in the audience, by the way.
Was he on third base?
Ooh, shots fired.
But the reason why I feel so good about the University of Michigan right now is because in March, there's one thing that matters. Defense and guard play. Guard play is the most important asset, in my opinion, that you can have in the month of March. And Devontae Jones, since mid-January, is playing some of his best basketball. And we saw what he can do in taking over a game like he did yesterday. Musa Diabate as well played really well yesterday. And I think if Devontae Jones can be this guy that we anticipated him to be when he transferred to Michigan for his senior season, man, I'm telling you, this is a very dangerous team. And you could say, oh, Homer, fine, I'll accept that. And maybe I'll be wrong and you can laugh at me. But because Devontae Jones is kind of broken out a little bit here, I'm feeling real good about Michigan.
Yeah, and I'm feeling good as well. You know, we talked about last week, we talked about how Caleb Houston had stepped up since, Juwan Howard had his suspension. Caleb Houston has stepped up 21-16. He had a bad game, but guess what? Devontae Jones steps up. There was a Diabate sighting. Diabate literally got 14 points, 7 rebounds. They were okay on the offensive side of the glass. But I'm literally telling you, man, Devontae Jones, like you're saying, Devontae Jones has stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
And Devontae Jones filled that role. Like no Hunter Dickinson. Hunter Dickinson arguably is a guy that could be, Big Ten Player of the Year. Now he's going to finish third in the running, but he's that type of player. So it was major for Jones to step up. But also Brooks. That's what Brooks has come into his own in the last 2 weeks, man. We've been looking for Brooks. Haven't seen Brooks since last year in the NCAA tournament. When he was balling, we was getting there. His energy, his leadership, that's another reason why they're doing their thing. I agree with you because they're a March team. Michigan legitimately has runs like this in March, right before the Big Ten tournament, in the tournament, and then in the NCAA tournament. But I got a sneaky feeling about Michigan and Hunter Dickinson. What you got, Sam?
Michigan won at Ohio State in a game where Hunter Dickinson didn't play and Caleb Houston shot 0 of 10. If you would have told me that Dickinson wouldn't play and Houston would shoot 0 for 10, I thought they'd lose by 20. Great win. I was so happy.
Anytime you can beat Michigan State and Ohio State as a Michigan team in any sport in 5 days, it's a damn good week.
Hey, do you really want Juwan to come back right now, or do you want to roll with the staff?
Come on, look.
Phil Martelli has been outstanding.
I'm going to answer that.
With his great assistant.
Phil Martelli.
No, that's all you. Go ahead. I shut up.
I love Phil Martelli. I love Phil Martelli. He did a fantastic job. But Juwan Howard coming back now, he's going to be focused. These guys love Juwan Howard. They're going to be focused. Everybody knows what's at stake now. There's no question this is Juwan Howard's team. Michigan's a very dangerous team. I'm just saying that out loud.
Can I tell you? Can I give you my "I told you so" moment?
Please.
Remember, I told you with Martelli they were going to win 3 out of 5 and get in a tournament and win a game in the tournament. So I got one right.
You definitely did. The interesting thing about that, and I agree with him. You want Juwan Howard to come back. Sometimes you got to take a step back. Now you don't want to get suspended to have to take that step back and see from afar. But Juwan Howard literally he got suspended, had to take a step back. He's been watching from the house. He's been watching his team. He's been watching how they move, the movements, the play, the guard play. He's been watching from afar. When he comes back in the Big Ten tournament, don't you think for 1 second he's not going to bring some things? Don't you think for 1 second he's not going to come in reinvigorated and have some things that they can do? It's going to be great when he comes back. Sometimes you got to take
I agree with you, taking the step back. Now, as for Martelli, had some really great things. The team really seems to love this guy as well. How do you not? Take a look.
And look, it's not smoke. I managed it. They coached it. And we will go forward, right? It's not going to be a big, tomorrow there'll be a change. So thank you for allowing me to be with you. Thank you, Come on, T.
Family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Family.
That's amazing to see. That's amazing to see. But you know what else is good? You talk about taking a step back. These kids nowadays, I feel like the way of Izzo, the way of Krzyzewski, the way of Roy Williams or Dean Smith, that doesn't exist anymore. Coaches are more managers than they are coaches. They manage players' feelings. They manage the playing time. They manage, emotions and all that. Sometimes you need to change the pace. Martelli's an old school coach. He ain't going for all that BS. He ain't kissing your butt. He ain't wiping your butt. You know what I'm saying? He ain't wiping your butt and put a diaper on it. And I feel like this was a good switch up because I feel like a lot of those players are like, he's getting after them. Now, this is what we see in terms of just the locker room and on the court. But in practice, I guarantee he's getting after them. There's some MFs going around. There's some dams going around. There's some S words going around. I think he's getting after them. And it's legitimately making them better. It's helping them out because now coaches are so managerial. Like I'll manage you. I'm not gonna get after you. It's good to see. I guarantee you, he's getting after these guys.
663 for Tom Izzo, all-time winningest Big Ten coach in the history of the conference. Did it yesterday. Here's Tom Izzo on the win yesterday.
Because that's kind of where the program has gone. It's about hanging those. And honoring our seniors. So I want to thank the president, I want to thank Alan, my family, Raquel and Stephen. I want to thank all of you. When you look at how you've been for all these years, 27 years you got to put up with me. And 27 years, that's a long time. But at the same time, I want to honor these guys.
Some of Tom Izzo's former players had a great tribute video. We're going to get to that next. We'll get to the Big Ten matchups in the Big Ten tournament, and we're going to get back to the NFL because there is something that may end in this NFL draft. Would be the first time in 8 years. I'll tell you what that is. Coming up, Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Think you're a big shot?
Oh, excuse me, it goes down.
Think you can make the big shot?
Washington fires and hits.
Woodward Sports. Edwards wants to send you to the finals for college basketball April 2nd through the 4th in New Orleans. That's right, you and a friend in the Big Easy. We'll take care of the airfare, hotel, and tickets to see the finals for college basketball. Listen Monday through Friday to the Morning Woodward Show. Big D Energy. And the bottom line for your chance to qualify. If you can make the big shots, you and a friend are getting out of the cold and to New Orleans. Got it. Keep listening and watching for your next chance to win. Powered by Planet Fitness, Syntron, and the Sports Marketing Agency.
And it's over. Anything can happen in March.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Hey gang, I want to tell you about Guardian Alarm. Boy, do they get it. Yes, they do. You see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house that tells the bad guys one thing? It says stay out
ooh-wee.
and ooh-wee. That's right. Guardian Alarm, state-of-the-art technology. 24, we got to start selling those t-shirts. Ooh-wee. The 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home or your business, control your lights, temperatures, detect smoke, carbon monoxide, even going to let you lock and unlock your doors. All you have to do is call this number, 1-800-STAY-OUT. 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's right. Call them today. Guardian Alarm. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. Tell them to stay out.
Hey, Coach, what's up?
Coach Iz, congratulations, man.
Hey, Coach Izzo. Just want to congratulate you on Big Ten wins, passing Coach Bobby Knight.
I'm sending a huge congratulations to my guy, Coach Tom Izzo, man, for beating that boy Bobby Knight's record.
Such a great honor for a great man and a great coach.
Congratulations on your historic win. You got there with a lot of hard work, with great execution, and you did it the right way with class.
I knew you were going to be the best from the first time I laid my eyes on you.
You're one of the all-time greats, man. You deserve everything.
Thank you for everything you taught me and done for me and helped me become the player I became.
Much love, man. Keep up the success, man, and I appreciate everything.
I'm blessed to say I'm playing under you and learning from you. You're a living legend, man. Keep going.
Go Green.
Perhaps the greatest thing about that cut is, and I love Mateen Cleaves, he's really good to us on the program, but he couldn't even sit up. Still laying down on the couch. So in chill mode. So I'm not getting up for anybody.
Good for him.
This is my thing. Michigan State, I'm very happy for Tom Izzo. Like when I was younger, I liked watching Michigan State basketball. Sean Respert, Eric Snow. Like they were really good. They've always been good. They've been very consistent from 90 till now. They've been very consistent. So, respect. And I love Tom Izzo. He's a great guy. Lloyd Carr really respects him. So if you got my guy, if you got my coach's respect, then you have my respect. That video right there, do you know how many first team All-Americans they have?
I love
how
Tom
many
Izzo,
consensus All-Americans they have.
Is that Duke?
And that's all we got? Where the hell is Steve Smith? Where the hell is Draymond Green? Where the hell is Cassius Winston? Where the hell are some of these players? Paul Davis, he works around the corner. Where are some of those guys?
Where's Ishbia?
I know. Well, he didn't play. He rode the bench. Even that team, all of them should have been on there. All those consensus All-Americans, they could have done better with that video.
I will tell you, man.
Am I right, Alex? Thank you.
I love Tom Izzo.
Jason Richardson.
Me too.
I just love the guy. I feel like everything that you want your coach to be, he is. I love I love the yelling and the fiery. Yeah. I love that in a coach. That's how you're supposed to be coach. Oh, little Johnny, don't do that again. You can't.
Yeah.
No, get these guys
managerial, like I said.
I just love Tom Izzo. Alex,
I've hated Michigan State in everything. I hate the colors. I hate green and white. I hate Michigan State, but I've always loved and respected Tom Izzo.
Alex, how important was that win yesterday? Just to get the win out of the way for Tom Izzo, and not wait to the Big Ten tournament so you can focus on this, but just overall scheme, they had been laboring down the stretch here. How important was that win for the Spartans yesterday?
It was a must-win game for us. It was really important for us to get that bad taste out of our mouth from the Michigan loss and the Ohio State loss. You know, ending the regular season on a high note, going into the conference tourney, and like you said, it finally gets that monkey off of Izzo's back, getting win 663, and getting a high note into the tournament. And you also get a lot of good individual performances from a lot of guys to give them some confidence going into the conference tourney. And another plus is they slot in as the 7th seed. I'll throw up the tournament actually right here. They slot in as the 7th seed and will also play Maryland again as they played yesterday. So the game prep for this game is not going to be too strenuous. It's really quite simple. Yesterday they nearly gave away the game just because of Maryland's 2 guards alone, Fats, Russell, and Eric Ayala nearly shot themselves back into this game. Shut down those 2 guys, and you're moving on to the quarterfinals. But as for March expectations, does it change? Does this win change them for me? Not really. I don't again, we're missing those pieces that you need to win in March. A star player, B a strong big man that can get you rebounds and post points. But a reasonable goal. Oh my God.
Sorry, Alex was going, and I was like, yeah,
we both were hyping Alex.
That was trying to hype him.
That wasn't even my best stuff, but
I think you did awesome, man.
Now let me ask you this question. Obviously, so you put that snapshot up. They play Maryland in the first round?
Correct.
Okay, they play Maryland. I think their most important game of the year is going to be their second round game in the Big Ten tournament.
That is if they make it there, yeah.
They don't even necessarily have to beat Wisconsin. I mean, I would want them to for this point to really hit home. If they can play a game where they play with Wisconsin the whole game and maybe be up majority of the game or something like that, that will do wonders for them going into the NCAA tournament. You agree or disagree?
I totally agree. In fact, I'm pretty thrilled that we are on the easier side of this bracket. I do not want to play Rutgers as a red hot team right now, and I think Illinois, it's their tournament to win, to lose rather. Wisconsin's a good team. They're very deep. They have depth just like we do. But I agree with you. If we get to that quarterfinal and we give them a run for their money and even lose down to the last 2 minutes of the game, lose by 5-6 points, they'll probably still come away from this tournament thinking, all right, we know our identity. We know how we can win in this month of March. Hopefully Izzo can solidify some good lineups. We can keep some young guys rolling like we've had as of recently. Tyson Walker is our starting point guard now. He's proven if we just get that guy a big man, he can be one of the best big pick and roll threats in all of college basketball. And Jay Nakins is a freshman that doesn't get the roses he deserves. And Ryan, take the floor.
All right.
Hot take. I was winning the Big Ten tournament.
Here's another hot take. Wisconsin lost on purpose yesterday.
So they have to play Michigan in round 2.
I mean, how does Wisconsin, as you look at the bracket, Wisconsin at home with a chance to win the Big Ten championship against a 3-win Nebraska team, how do you lose that game? How do you lose that game? I don't think they really lost on purpose. Now that's
a joke. It's a joke.
It's a joke. I don't think they really lost on purpose, but I don't think they're mad that they lost. I don't think that Wisconsin team wants any part of Michigan in another game in the second round of the Big Ten tournament, because now Illinois takes the top seed. Illinois is the number 1 seed. Illinois will face the 8-9 winner, which I anticipate Michigan beats Indiana, but that's just me.
That was being funny. We got to play Illinois again.
Yeah. But, how does Wisconsin lose that game? At home with a championship on the line against a 3-win Nebraska team.
You know how? So, playing football, all football players, we think we can play basketball. So, literally, in off season when I was at Michigan and even in NFL too, all we do was hoop. All we do, we go to Lifetime back in the day. We go to CCRB when I was at Michigan, the IM building. You go in there, and you legitimately have 5-star, 4-star athletes playing basketball against, regular students, right? You would think we go in there and win, all the time. You think we go in there and mop the floor with these guys. Sometimes you play down to the level of your competition. Nebraska are bums. Just like some of these guys we used to play at the CCRB intramural building, But we took L's because you get relaxed, because you chill and you play bad. They got chill. They got relaxed. They played down to a bad Nebraska team and ended up getting beat.
So we'll find out. Guys, we got breaking news in the NFL from Ian Rappaport. Big news. I'll get that to you next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, Bottom Line.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Detroit sports by Detroiters and for Detroiters. This is Detroit Sports Network. This is Woodward Sports.
Nothing like the smooth taste of Gypsy vodka. Michigan's gluten-free vodka. It is amazing, pure, and it tastes like butter. Go down to your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. They have it. I'm talking about corn distilled 6 times with artesian spring water. Oh, man, I had to take a pause because it sounds so good. And by they, Adam and Mike, Michigan State, shout out to Tom Izzo, 663. Gypsy vodka is it. It took 50 formulas, but they got it right. Go down to your local liquor store, ask for Gypsy vodka by name. They'll probably give you a discount if you tell them Ryan Ermanni sent you. There it is. But if you're going to drink responsibly.
Breaking news in the NFL. This from Ian Rappaport. The Falcons wide receiver Calvin Ridley has been suspended at least through the end of the season for betting on NFL games in the 2021 season. So here's the statement. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell today suspended Calvin Ridley of the Atlanta Falcons indefinitely through at least the conclusion of the 2022 season for betting on the games in the NFL in the 2021 season. The activity took place during a 5-day period in late November 2021 while Ridley was not with the team and was away from the club's facility on the non-football illness list. Remember, he sat out
for mental health
reasons. A league investigation uncovered no evidence indicating any inside information was used or that any game was compromised in any way. Nor was there evidence suggesting any awareness by coaches, staff, teammates, or other players in this betting activity. In the letter to Ridley notifying him of his suspension, Commissioner Goodell wrote, quote, "There is nothing more fundamental to the NFL's success and to the reputation of everyone associated with our league than upholding the integrity of the game." It goes on to say, any player, coach, owner, game official, anyone else employed in the league, actions put the integrity of the game at risk, threaten to damage public confidence in professional football. For decades, gambling on the NFL has been considered among the most significant violations of league policy. And it goes on and on and on. I got a question for you guys.
Why did Stephen Ross get suspended?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think it's different.
That's still going on,
that's
I think.
Still investigating. It's an ongoing investigation.
He owns a sports book company, and he was telling his coach to tank wins.
Yeah.
How do you...
It's horrible.
I got a question for you.
They're in bed with everybody.
Exactly. How do you suspend Calvin Ridley for this?
I agree.
Is there a bylaw now that you cannot, that active players, I don't know what the law is.
So
the laws are thrown out because now they're in bed with every sports book in the country.
Is promoting it.
Yeah, 100%. What I was going to say is the NFL has a, like you said, guideline. They have rules. They have situations that have happened, experience, so that they can finite their rules, so that it makes sense, so that they have an example of something that's happened like this before, so that they can make the rule, they can uphold the rule, they can suspend you off the rule, etc. This is the first time it's ever happened. And I think you're seeing it right now. It's like, hey, suspended a year, and, Roger Goodell came out and said this. I think you're just seeing a situation where it's the first time it's happened. They don't know what to do. So they're announcing it as 1 year. But what happens with any fine, any suspension in the NFL, you can appeal everything. And more often than not, most appeals, you usually win. Like, let's say an appeal 1 year, it might go down to 6 games, 5 games, whatever. It's just the first time that this has happened. And I think the NFL is trying to get ahead of it, get out there. But once he appeals, it'll go down.
I can understand.
I still don't agree, though.
I can understand if you're an active player or you're with the team. He was neither. He's just a citizen at that point. Maybe, obviously, he's property of the Atlanta Falcons. But, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't take the money of all these gambling sites.
Was he betting on the Falcons? That's the one thing I meant to ask.
Yeah, it says no evidence of inside information, no evidence any games were changed. I'd like to hear more information about this. Was it on the Super Bowl? Did he bet on the Super Bowl and you've got a problem with that? What was it? I need more information before I come to a firm conclusion or a take on this. But I got to tell you, if you're the NFL, you've got a team in Vegas, you've got your draft in Vegas, you've taken money from every sports book that there is to take. You didn't think this was going to be a problem?
Very true.
You don't think people are going to do this? Come on, NFL. Stupid.
Back in 1963, I just want to bring it up, Detroit's own Alex Karras and the Golden Boy from Green Bay, Paul Hornung, were suspended indefinitely for gambling on the NFL. And I remember that, so I went back and looked at the old Sports Illustrated, and there's the cover. The Wages of Sin was the cover on Sports Illustrated. I'm trying to find out how many games that they were suspended, but he was betting on his own team. We're talking $100 back in the day. He was betting on the Detroit Lions, and Paul Hornung was caught as well. They were suspended. This thing, that's when gambling was outlawed.
Yeah.
Now gambling, it's a free world now. This is Vegas. There's Vegas is every town now.
Smoking weed, gambling. Yeah. I mean, it's all legal.
I understand that. I agree with that. One, I don't like Paul Hornung. I can't remember who he said something about, but it was awful. Yeah, I hate Notre Dame too. Yes, they are legal though. But when you deal with, I give you an example. Like, yeah, it's legal to smoke marijuana in a lot of places. However, if you work for Goldman Sachs, you get drug tested. If you work for Set Corporation, like, so what that it's legal in the ramification of the state, it's not legal at Set Practice or Set Corporation or Set Business that you work for. So I can understand that. The interesting thing about it is it's tricky because you either just have to make it where you can't bet at all, or you say you can't bet on your team. The reason why I say that, because all these guys in NFL, they know everybody in the league. They're friends. So when you say inside information,
they all got it.
Exactly. Like if I'm Aaron Donald, you know what I'm saying, I'm boys with Russell Wilson, and Russell, I'm talking to him on the phone, you know what I'm saying, we're not even playing them. If I'm talking to Russell Wilson, like, yo, what's going on? Yeah, Aaron, you know what I'm saying, not playing this week. You know, also DK probably not going to play. So we're trying to get together. I'm like, you not playing, he not playing. Hey, y'all, you know DK's not playing, Russell's playing. That's inside information right there. And, or little stuff that could come out. A guy's playing, but he's not really healthy. So you either can't bet on your team or you can't bet at all. They got to make it that black and white.
Isn't fantasy football considered gambling?
Yes.
What do they freaking put on the TV screens? You can't get away from fantasy football. They tell you exactly everything that's happening.
I think if you're
they're unbelievable.
If you're
this
an
freaking
active
league is unbelievable.
If you're an active player or you're injured and you're sitting up in the owner's box or something, I can understand that.
Who caught him?
I don't know, but when you're like he literally was not with the team since week 2 or week 3 or something like that. So I don't know.
How'd they catch him?
Paper trail. I'm pretty sure FanDuel or MGM Bets or, you know, whatever.
Okay.
They probably.
I'm going to bring up the name then.
Yeah.
Freaking Pete Rose.
He bet on his team though.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't know what he bet on. None of us know.
They said he bet on his team. I mean, I wasn't there. I wasn't even alive, but they say he bet on his team.
In the ledger book.
They did, and they found his ledger. They showed that he bet.
And he always bought. By the way. Yeah, he always bet on the Reds, never against the Reds.
This gambling thing, You can't be in bed and then punch the player in his face.
Yeah.
You can't.
I agree.
Pick a side, NFL.
That's why I said you got to either make it where you just can't bet on your team and everything else is no holds bar, or you just can't bet at all. You got it black and white it, because right now it's iffy.
But then again, okay, if you don't want any betting, how do you let broadcasters pick games?
Yeah.
Like
win Terry Bradshaw's money.
I mean that's like I understand that's a network thing, but that's big time NFL too. The NFL signs off on all this stuff. The NFL signs off on who you're going to hire for Thursday Night Football. I mean, they sign off on every move that these networks make in terms of how they're going to broadcast their games.
There's got to be a lot more on this story. I can't wait for some details to come out on this one. But Calvin Ridley suspended for 1 year for gambling
and
on
I hope
football.
he appeals it.
He'll definitely appeal, and he'll definitely win. As long as he's not he wasn't betting on his team, he'll definitely win and get it lessened. But you'll start to see more and more and more of this, man. Like literally, like what was hockey? It was Evander Kane. Yeah. Evander Kane got in trouble. Now this is Calvin Ridley's getting in trouble. Like this sports betting thing, we knew it was going to open a can of worms. I'm actually been waiting for not waiting. I don't want anybody to mess up, but I knew it was going to happen. We've been waiting for this. I want to know how deep is it going to get? Like, they got to do something about this.
He ain't the only one that gambled.
Oh, hell no.
I mean, come on.
Not at all. I talked to a lot of guys. A lot of guys are dropping bets on things. They're not betting on their teams, but they're betting. Like, it's trending.
Let me ask you. Okay, I'm Ryan Ermanni. I play for the Detroit Lions.
Never came out the game.
Ever. My team's out of it. I'm sitting at home. Divisional round. I can't place a bet?
I guess not. Guess not.
And that's why I said they got to make it black and white where you just can't. And that's why I said either can't bet at all or you just can't bet on your team. Because if I'm in the NFL, like shoot, if I'm sitting at home like you said, you know what? I think Matt Stafford might win the Super Bowl. Why can't I place that bet?
Can I walk up to a window in Vegas and put money down in the Super Bowl? I've been home for the last 6 weeks.
Can you bet on the Final Four? Can you bet on the NBA championship? Can you bet on any damn sport?
You can bet. Yeah, you can bet on other sports. Because when I was I bet on Michigan at MGM Sports. But I bet on Michigan against Ohio State. Obviously, I lost that battle. But I bet it was college and it wasn't NFL and it wasn't whatever. You can bet on other sports.
I know there's a sign on the locker room, and I'm pretty sure it reads positively no admittance unless you're an NFL player. Positively no gambling. But that has got to be rewritten because you guys are hypocrites. Absolute hypocrites. You're in bed with the freaking mob. You're in bed with the casinos.
Pete Rozelle.
Crazy, isn't
Come
it,
on.
man? Isn't it crazy? I don't know. I do want to hear more information about this story because I think it's really crappy, for lack of a better word to say, if you're going to suspend this guy for the year. I want to know more before I go all in on one way or the other. It just doesn't seem right.
And it's interesting too that they already suspended him a year because they obviously have receipts and they have records in terms of what they're going by to suspend him for a year. But it's also interesting if he didn't bet on the Falcons. Let's just start there. Deshaun Watson didn't get suspended a year, and he's got 26 accounts, and 9 of them criminal.
Thank you.
He didn't get suspended a year. Meanwhile, this is coming out, and he got suspended a year. Come on, NFL. Y'all got to figure this out, man.
Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network. God dang, that's the bottom line.
That's bull.
Taurus.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets, daily on Woodward Sports.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz from MyBookie.ag, where I put my sports wagering in. I had Michigan and Michigan State this weekend. I'm not Calvin Ridley, though. He better stay away from MyBookie.ag. But if you're a first-timer, you can get on there and use the promo code Woodward. They'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Did you see that Lakers-Warriors game last Saturday? Wow, what a finish in that one. LeBron went off, and, of course, Steph Curry did his best as well.
James.
Bet the NBA, the NHL. Will Major League Baseball come back? Bet the NFL, but not if you're Calvin Ridley. MyBookie.ag, the promo code is Woodward. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. If you have a gambling problem, please call the Michigan Gambling Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
He had to do it. He just couldn't help himself.
I didn't mean to laugh, but you literally said if you got gambling problem after you said Calvin Ridley.
Fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken. Wing Snob has the best traditional wings. Try out signature sauces, Jamaican jerk, or lemon pepper. Wings are tossed to perfection in any sauce you want. That's right. When the wings are this good, you're allowed to be a snob. Order online now at wingsnob.com. Wingsnob.com. Find a location near you. Wingsnob. We just have better wings.
And now it's time for Maz's Videos of the Day, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
When Max just texted me and was like, can you throw games from the couch?
Well, we're suspending him a year for gambling, but he had no inside information. He didn't bet against his team, and
well, he had inside information because every player does.
No, I read the statement.
Right, but that's horse shit. Excuse my language.
Come on,
it's true.
Sam's got to edit
Sorry,
twice now
Sam.
today for the radio.
Don't
and
worry
you can
about
listen to us tonight if you missed anything on the Roar 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2 FM.
Thank you for not leaving me by myself. But guess what? Now it is time for Maz's Videos of the Day.
Hey, we'll stay with Coach K. Congratulations to him on a great, fine career.
Screw him.
He says it ain't over yet. This season is still going on. By the way, I had to just play this video for you. It's the Coach K way.
Kobe Bryant said, Coach, I never get a standstill three. I said, you will get standstill threes. He said, I'm always double teamed. You won't be double teamed because LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony, those guys will be out on the court. You're going to get open threes. And then all of a sudden he did, and he didn't hit them. And then he said every night shooting 1,000 shots a night, and that's not an exaggeration. Yeah, and you guys said, well, holy mackerel, I'm working on all this stuff. Cool. Work on all that stuff. The free throw and the standstill three, you got to be able to hit. You should love this place right here. You should love the gym. You should love the gym. Yeah, you should want to be in here a lot. What's the thing that gets you out of it? What's one of the things that gets you out of it? Tired. Tired. Okay? And when you're tired, what do you start thinking about? I'm tired. You. I'm tired. When you're home and say, Mom, I'm tired, and you expect some sympathy or, oh, baby, don't be tired. Don't be tired. My mother, God bless her, I never saw my mom sick. In other words, when I grew up, I woke up every day. My mom was there. I took it for granted. She's never tired. She never showed it. Be as tough as your mother.
I love that. I love that. You don't like Coach K? You don't hear him coaching up his boys?
Again.
That's sweet.
That's a really great thing. Like, be as tough as your mother's. I understand that. I just don't like the guy. I never have. Okay. I never will. I think he's he's not a squeaky wheel.
No. And nobody is.
No.
Nobody.
But he tried to portray it like he's a squeaky wheel.
Yes.
I agree. I agree with that.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. The thing I like about that is twofold. One, when they said get in the gym, it's funny that Zion Williams was in the video and he said get in the gym, a guy that they say is overweight. Yeah. The second thing about it is he's right, man. Like, if you want to get better, man, it's legitimate. It's on the football field. It's on the tennis court. It's on the golf course. It's in the basketball gym. Chris Webber sucked at shooting free throws. Chris Webber was awful at shooting free throws when he got into the NBA. He was shooting somewhere around 49%, 51%. Chris Webber hired a guy, one of his best friends, had the guy travel with him year-round. Wherever they were at. During the season, they were going to some Catholic, some gyms and some small schools and things like that. Off season, he can go wherever. Worked on it. Chris Webber's career, 79% free throw shooter.
Crazy, man.
Get in the gym. That's how you get better.
Look at Kobe.
Yeah.
You heard him.
Kobe's the best. Like Kobe
shooting 1,000 after
Kobe's
the game is
ethic,
over.
Nobody's work ethic was as good as Kobe's except Jerry Rice.
Isn't that something?
I love you, Mike, but not Kobe.
This past Saturday was a wonderful game, if you like the NBA. Lakers and Warriors went down to the end. I mean, they were trading haymakers. LeBron on one end, Steph Curry on the other end. Too bad they didn't have Draymond Green in this game because I think they would have closed it out. But Matthew Stafford and Kelly Stafford were hanging out, and they got a lot of TV time. Play these back-to-back, Alex.
Got to talk, though,
No,
because
play it.
Look at that. 197. Good shot. Look at Stafford.
I don't know what's happening. Are we not allowed
Why
to play
can't you play it?
Stafford has a look at the guy
Well, I was wrong on
that has
one.
everything
Did
he
you
needs.
bang him on that, Mike? What does he have to do?
Ugh.
One timeout left.
54, 19 and 30.
I can't have you in the building and not put
on.
on a show. That's what he said. He walked by Matt and Kelly Stafford. I can't have you in the building and not put on a show. How about that?
Love that.
Can we do something for LeBron James? All last year, what did we talk about?
Hating him?
Football. We talk about Tom Brady being old and balling out of control. And that's all the narrative was. Always, can you believe this guy is 44? Can you believe this guy is 44? Look at what he's doing at 44. None of that for LeBron James. All you hear this season about LeBron James is, he orchestrated which was an awful deal, bringing in Russell Westbrook. Terrible. He gets an L for that one. LeBron James is 38 and just dropped 54.
No,
8
I mean,
and 3. LeBron James is averaging 28 and a half this year. We got to give him some love for being 38 and doing that. Nobody has ever done that, and I don't think anybody ever do it again.
I can still hate him,
later
though.
than he's doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah. No.
I can still hate him, though.
You can hate him with the respect for the body
I
of
got
work.
it. I got that.
Now, you can hate him. I'm
I got
cool
that.
with
You know, him and his 2.5 steps. I got it. I'm all for it. Anyway, we go to the combine now, and now there's a quarterback you hear about all the big quarterbacks, but there's a quarterback from Brown University. That's right.
Oh yeah,
Chris, the Boomer. Sorry, how did I forget? Chris Boomer Berman. That's where he went. Remember, he always used to mention Brown University, Ivy League school. The kid's name is E.J. Perry. Look at him after the combine, picking up the trash that everyone else left behind that bench. Just a cool kid. Didn't have to do that. He's tired. Probably didn't have a great combine. He's gassed.
7 hours on the air for me.
I know. Isn't that something? Just cool.
That is
Just
amazing.
wanted to show that to you.
Yes.
That's amazing. It tells that he went to a bad school. They didn't get any wins if he's doing that. That was a little joke. Yo, shout out to, since you want to do the Ivy League, best Ivy League player of all time. Fitzmagic, baby.
Look at that.
That's it.
Fitzmagic.
Where's he going to play this year?
It's magic.
Somewhere.
Magic.
He'll probably be in Detroit.
Would you take him here as a backup?
I
would.
I will always take Fitzmagic for the first 3 games of the season.
Crazy.
For the first 3 games of the season, I take Fitzmagic.
Just as a backup. Not a
I
starter.
would start him the first 3 games of the season. Once he gets to game 4, he's off.
You got time for another, or you want to call it a
No,
night?
we got time.
All right. Did you see the game in Mexico, the soccer game, where the fans started kicking the living daylights out of each other, and the game had to be canceled? Check this out from Mexico. This started in the stands, and they get down on the field. Or the, what do they call the field in soccer? The pitch.
Oh, the pitch.
They get down on the pitch, and they take the field over. They had to cancel that game. La Liga was the team in Mexico playing in this game.
Oh, La Liga.
La Liga.
That's very good.
That's
very
for
good
fish.
team.
That was
very
for
good.
fish.
Guys, great day today. I do want to make you aware of a couple of things we got going on here at Woodward Sports. 6 o'clock tonight, Woodward Bets coming up. So if you're around, check out the Woodward Bets guys at 6 o'clock. Also, our guys, Spencer and Easy, the heavyweights, Woodward Heavyweights. They're coming out with a new podcast today. They're talking UFC 272 on the heavyweights later today. Check them out. Subscribe to them. Of course, Adam and Jeff and Maddie on the Morning Woodward Show. Look for them. Neil and D-Mac on the Big D Energy Show
sir.
at 11. Check those guys out, too. Lots of exciting things happening here at Woodward Sports. Bray, get us out of here.
Monday, man, it's a great time to be alive. We are doing it. This is a good good Monday getting into the week. Man, I can't wait to talk about UFC 272 with them guys as well because it was awful. But we appreciate you guys tuning in, watching every way, listening every way that you know how. Appreciate you guys. We're building something, the momentum. We're going this way. We're going this way. Big D Energy, Woodward Morning Show. I'm talking about bottom line with Ermanni and Edwards and Maz talking about Woodward bets. We're doing it big.
Come on, baby.
We're doing it big at Woodward Sports, man.
Hey, Michigan Panthers, by the way, open up with the Houston Gamblers.
No.
The schedule release is out on the USFL.
Calvin Ridley play for
you beat me to it. You beat me to it. I was going to say that joke as well.
That's terrible.
They'll take him.
I'm Team Ridley all day, by the way.
Me too.
You still can crack a joke, though. I still support him, but that was funny.
Crack a joke.
It was funny.
All right. Bye, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Staying here tomorrow, too, right?
Hey, man, shout out to Pops. See you tomorrow, Dad.
Pops.
32. We out. Adam Baydoun in the studio, by the way. We're out of here.
Tackle box for somebody that big. He's got excellent awareness. Talk about block awareness. He's getting double teamed almost every play. He's really instinctive. Here he goes. Yeah, that's a big man movement. It is.
That is a big man movement.